Wow. Took me way too long to do this. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. You guys, did you miss me? Did you see all the tabloids about Carson's been gone for 2 weeks, maybe he has COVID? He doesn't. He just didn't watch the movie for 2 weeks. And I'll tell you why. 2 reasons. I picked this movie and I was all excited about it. But then I realized that I wasn't really in the mood to watch it, which is a terrible excuse. Terrible one. But I was like, man, do I want to watch a movie about a violent revolution when I could just turn on the TV and watch the news? Alas, it took me a while for that reason. And also, I just started watching Succession on HBO, and I couldn't stop. I had never seen it before, and I got sucked right in. And so 2 seasons of Succession and not wanting to watch a violent revolution led me to stringing us along for 2 weeks. But I finally watched Battle of Algiers. Did you watch it? Maybe you watched it 2 weeks ago and you've been like, what the hell, man? I've been ready for a new pick. Come on, chop chop. Groot's been ready. Yeah, well, I hope you did get a chance to watch this. And I also hope that you don't mind that it took so long. I have a feeling you don't mind. But yeah, let's get right back into this, baby. It's good to see you. I hope it's good to see us. Yeah, in case I didn't say this, it's Carson, it's Groot. We're always here doing this, unless we're not, which we weren't for 2 weeks, but we're here now. The Battle of Algiers, 1966. Gilo Pontecorvo. This movie's amazing. There's a plane going by. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. Doesn't matter. But I will say this. I'd only ever heard that this movie was good. No one's ever been like, oh yeah, Battle of Algiers, not for me. Never heard that. There's even on, forgive me, drinking bubbles. On Rotten Tomatoes, there was a great little review that says, what do you want me to say? It's a masterpiece. And I was just like, yeah, that's about right. It is a masterpiece. It's essential. It's a must watch. If you ever want to make movies, you have to watch this movie. If you are interested in world history, you have to watch this movie. If you like Italian neorealism, you have to watch this movie. Yeah, without this movie, there is no Schindler's List. There is no The Hurt Locker. Hell, there's no Dark Knight. I'm not kidding. Christopher Nolan will tell you that he watched this movie to get ready to film some of the scenes in the Dark Knight trilogy. And Steven Soderbergh made everybody watch this movie before watching Making Traffic. It's one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm making a movie like Battle of Algiers, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to watch Battle of Algiers. And I will say, if you're like me and you had never seen it until right now, it may not shock you in like the technical element or in the way that it happens. If you don't know, the film is about the Algerian Revolution. It really happened. This is something that really, really happened in the 50s. The French were it was a French colony. There's the word I was looking for. And the Algerians were fighting for independence. And this is not a documentary, though Gilo Pontecorvo did have a history of working in documentary film. This one is known for how real it looks and feels while not being a documentary. It's a news footage, realism type of approach. And there was even apparently in older versions of this film, like a little card at the very beginning that said, not a foot of this film is from newsreel footage or documentary. And it is good to know because it really feels like you're watching a documentary, especially towards the end when you see a lot of the uprising stuff. But yeah, this film is kind of a conundrum for me in a good way. You have an Italian director who made a story about Algerians dealing with French colonialism. Can I phone a friend? Yeah, but you know, that is kind of crazy when you think about it. This is definitely an outsider making a movie that makes it feel like you're on the inside. And one of the things that this movie is very well known for is its depiction of both sides, right? An easy way to illustrate this is in Star Wars, the rebels are good, the Empire is bad. in Saving Private Ryan or any World War II movie you've ever seen about the U.S. Army, at least. The U.S. Army is good, the Nazis are bad. And the thing that's cool about the Battle of Algiers is there is the French army and there is the resistance, but we humanize both of them. We take the time to get to know both of them and what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they feel about it, and how they feel about each other. And that is unique and something that I guess hadn't really been attempted or pulled off well before. If you think about it, if you were going to go see a movie about this topic, you would most likely have a Tom Cruise, Matt Damon, Chris Hemsworth, right? A rogue CIA agent who gets in with the so-and-so and realizes that the rebels actually need his help because they're actually right. And then, it's a white savior movie, right? There's a gajillion of them. But the thing that this film does not have is that. We're watching Algerians and the French, and that's what we're dealing with. And so what's cool is then you wind up having true blue, three-dimensional Algerian characters. They're not a part of the backdrop in Casablanca. They are real people. And what's cool is, in the hands of another filmmaker, right, one side is going to be viewed as like terrorists. But what's interesting is they're both viewed as the terrorists. There's a wonderful sequence, and I'm going to just quickly tell you that the music in this is awesome. Ennio Morricone, legendary film score, composer. I'm finding these words a couple seconds late, but I'm finding them. There's actually a really great piece of music right at the beginning of the movie. It happens throughout the film, but it occurs very early, and it's in Inglourious Basterds. And I was like, yes, of course. See, had I seen this before I saw that, I would have been like, good job, Quentin, you're using the Battle of Algiers music. But to me, I watched this and was like, it's the Inglourious Basterds music. So you see how fun it is to be a film aficionado. I just made that word up for you. But depending on what order you watch classic films, that's the order in which the references come to you, right? I guess if you could watch everything in chronological order, you would pick up on who stole what from whom along the way. But it's kind of fun to do it backwards and reverse engineer some of these things. Schindler's List, I brought it up earlier, but it's documentary style, black and white cinematography, is clearly borrowed from Battle of Algiers, which is clearly borrowed from newsreel footage, which makes sense because Pentecorvo used to make that shit. See? It's all cool, man. But what I was going to say, there's this great scene where this Ennio Morricone music is used after the French have bombed an Algerian neighbor, the Casbah. Forgive me, I didn't fully understand what that meant. I don't know if that's a part of town, if that's an actual place, and that's just my ignorance, and maybe they said it and I was looking at my phone. I don't know. But the Casbah's blown up and we play this kind of haunting, sad music while we're pulling bodies out of the rubble. The Algerians retaliate later in the film. They blow up civilians from the French side. And we play the same piece of music as we're pulling the bodies out of there, to fully illustrate that it's the same amount of tragedy is happening on both sides. There's a really great interview that I watched. It's a kind of a montage interview on Criterion Channel, and I think it's on YouTube as well, but it's 7 filmmakers talking about the Battle of Algiers. It's Spike Lee, Steven Soderbergh, Julian Schnabel, Oliver Stone, Mira Nair, all these people talking about this movie, and Spike is the one who mentioned this thing about the piece of music getting used in both bits to kind of illustrate this similar tragedy that what did he say? We're mourning the loss of life, period, not the loss of innocent French people or innocent Algerians. So that's, watch that interview. I learned a lot after watching this film and then watching that, because filmmakers just absolutely love this movie. It's like how kids love, well, maybe they don't love it, but pulling a quarter out from behind your ear, or doing that thing where it's someone new, boop your nose. It's there's something about it. This film to filmmakers is like that. It's just they're just I don't know how you did this magic trick, and I want to watch it again, and I want to make one just like it. And there aren't that many films like that where it's just across the board. It's just turns artists into their best selves. Like, it's like the water in Space Jam. It's like you had it in you all along, but you just needed it. I digress. Have you seen my shirt, by the way? Bossing Say Cabbage. It's a reference to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Because I'm not just a movie nerd, you guys. I watch kids' cartoons as well, as Groot will tell you. Yeah, I don't have a lot else to say. I will say there's not a whole lot of professional actors in this movie. There's just one, the guy, Jean Martin. He plays the colonel on the French army side. He's the only professional actor in this whole film. Everybody else was plucked out of obscurity and directed very well to give very real, grounded performances. One of the guys on the Algerian side actually was part of the revolution. He was like in the Algerian resistance. And he doesn't necessarily play himself, I guess. But, you know, it's just like little things like that peppered throughout this movie make it so much more realistic. A lot of the bombing sequences are kind of disturbing just because it seems very real. You're like, wait, are they extras? Then they're in danger. Like, whoever I just saw get blown up, like, got fucking really blown up, man. We should go check on them. Yeah, so I'm sorry it took so long. Oh, you know what? I have a couple other little things right here. It has a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, 96% audience score, so damn near everybody likes this movie. It was nominated for a couple Oscars. It was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film in 1966. But then, spoiler, Twister, what? It was nominated for Screenplay and Director in 68. I'm assuming there was a distribution issue. Maybe it was nominated for Foreign Film upon being released in the foreign land. And then it got distribution here, and they've changed the rules. So that shit doesn't happen anymore. But, yeah, it won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival. This movie's really good. I mean, I'm not telling you anything that hasn't been said before. You just need to watch it. Don't do what I did and force yourself to watch it. A day will come when you're like, you know what I'm going to watch? Battle of Algiers. And that's going to be the perfect day to watch it. Because it is, like I said at the very beginning of this, it is essential. You got to watch it. It's a must. You got to do it. So yeah, follow us, Filmstruck Film Club, baby. Instagram, Facebook, like and subscribe on YouTube. Comment if you want. Say, I hate this movie. I love this movie. I like your mustache. Nice Bossing Say Cabbage shirt. Groot's sexy. I don't care. I love that you guys are watching these, and that's really all that matters. But we'll have a new pickup. I will try not to take this long ever again in between picks, and I'll be more transparent with you. If I'm struggling to watch something that I picked, you know, maybe I'll put a poll up and be like, should we watch this instead? Or I'll just continue to, you know, push through, and we'll all be okay. We're all gonna make it. But yeah, love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Let me know what we've watched that you liked, what we watched that you didn't like, what you want to watch, something that you watched and you loved and you think we would love. I like communicating with you guys. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna sign off. Say bye, Groot. Bye, Groot.